Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. To all my regular viewers, welcome back, and if you're new to my channel, welcome. So just before I start this video, I just want to say that this is not a paying client. This is actually my friend. She's come up to visit me and we decided to do her nails. So I'm starting back by pushing back her cuticles and removing any of the dead skin from around the cuticles and around the side walls of the nail. This is going to be a longer than normal video because I am doing both hands on camera. Please feel free to skip forward to the end because I know that I never like the video to be too long for you guys. So just if you want to skip through some of the parts, that's fine with me. So I'm taking my 180 grit file and I'm just going to remove any of the shine from her natural nail and just file her own natural nail into a nice shape. I always, whenever I'm doing, my clients, if their own nail is out of shape or slightly longer, if I'm applying tips, I would normally take the nail down to the same length and make sure that they're all the same shape. That way, when they're growing out, it's a bit more tidier when you look underneath the nails. Now that I've finished all the prep, I'm going in and I'm wiping with some alcohol just to cleanse the nails of any dust and any oil. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to put on Glitterbels Extreme Length nail tips. I have already pre-sized them for her, so now it's just a case of putting them on. I absolutely love these tips for no matter what shape you're doing on the nail, and you can probably see that my friend's nails are really dinky and she's got really small hands, but these tips, they are so easy to apply. The C curve, it isn't too high so that it does give you that natural flush fitting to the nail. And if you're doing a coffin nail, really all you need to do is take the end off the nail. If you want to do stiletto, it's easy to file it into shape. And then also if you want to do a tapered square or a square nail, it's so much easier to do. These tips are like universal, they go for any shape. So she has chose to have a coffin shape and I've already shaped them up. I only needed to kind of take in the middle finger. The rest of the nails, all I did was literally just clip the top off them with my tip cutters. I also have already laid down my glass slippers clear base, and I'm now going in with blue pastel and I'm going to do a full coverage of the nail with this. Moving on now to the ring finger, and I'm going in with the pink pastel, and I'm just going to cover the nail bed area of this and just bring it down ever so slightly beyond the natural free edge, and then I'm going to use my little cutting tool just to cut out a nice straight line across that. When I'm using some of the pastel colored powders, because it is so much, you know, the color is so much softer, I always go in and do almost like a second cuticle bead, just to make sure that I have the correct color just, you know, in the cuticle area. Onto the middle finger now, and again I'm going back in with the pink pastel, and I'm going to do a slight extended nail bed with this. And again, I always go in with that second little bead up around the cuticle area. It just concentrates the color, especially when you're using lighter colors. The reason I'm showing both hands in this video is because I have alternated the designs on the nails, and some of the designs are different to the way they are on one hand to the other. Onto the pointer finger now, and this is going to be an ombre with the blue pastel and the pink pastel. So when I'm doing an ombre, usually the first bead I lay down will be in the center of the nail. That way I can have a really light feathering of that color up towards the cuticle, and then that way whenever I put the pink pastel on, there'll be no harsh lines. I've now been in with the pink pastel, and even though the nail bed area is very dinky, I've split it into two different beads. So I laid down the first bead to do the ombre, and then the next bead will be the cuticle bead. On now to the thumbnail, and this is going to be the same as the little finger, and it's just going to be a full coverage nail of the blue pastel. I've just went back to the little finger because I kind of noticed that the colour just was a little bit pale up in certain areas around the cuticle and down the side walls. So I just wanted to make sure that everywhere was covered. Back onto the ring finger and the middle finger, and I'm just taking my file and I'm sharpening up the lines that I cut out on the ring finger, and then on the small extended nail bed on the middle finger. I'm just shaping that up and making it more sharp. Then I'll go in with the Sugar Honey, which is one of Glitterbels' new loose glitters. And to pick up that, I'm going to pick up a bead of glass slippers and then dip it into the glitter and then place it on the nail. So this is the Sugar Honey, which is one of the loose glitters from Glitterbels. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of in between like a rose gold, maybe virgin on bronzy. It's really, really gorgeous and it goes with so many colours. It's unbelievable. This is the multi-mix of it though, so I think I will go ahead and purchase the fine one, because sometimes if you're doing really intricate designs, you have to pick the chunky glitter out, so to have both would absolutely be perfect. On the middle finger, I'm just pushing the Sugar Honey up towards the smile line, and then on both the ring finger and the middle finger I will go in with blue pastel and cover the rest of the nail. While I'm waiting for the glitter to dry, on the other hand, I'm going in again with blue pastel onto the little finger, and this one is going to be an ombre. As I said, the two hands are going to be completely different. Well, not completely different because it's still the same colours, but the design is going to be different on each nail. As you can see on her dinky little fingers, her nail beds, I have split the cuticle area into two beads. So I did my first bead and feathered that down over the blue, and then I've went in separately and done a cuticle bead. So the ring finger on this hand is just going to be a full coverage of the blue pastel. onto the middle finger, and I'm going in with the Sugar Honey glitter, and I'm just going to place that in a line just right down the center of the nail bed, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cap it in the clear. That way I can butt the pastel pink up to it, and when I go to file it, it will give me a nice sharp line. I went in with my little cutting tool, but with there being chunky bits in this glitter as well, it just wasn't working out the way I wanted it to. So capping it in the clear and then going in with my file and just sharpening up the edges seemed to work better for this nail. Onto the pointer finger on this hand, and I'm going in with the pink pastel in the cuticle area, and I'm just bringing it down the nail in a diagonal shape, and then I'm going in with my little cutting tool and I'm just redefining that line. On both hands I've tried to do the little finger and the thumb the same. So to match the little finger in this hand, this thumb is going to be an ombre of the blue pastel and the pink pastel. Going back to the other hand, and I'm just taking my file and just sharpening up the line from where the glitter ends, and then I'm going to go in with blue pastel and I'm going to cover the rest of the nails. when we're working with coloured acrylics, we have to remember to make sure that we do them nice and thin, because we're always going to go over and put a layer of clear acrylic just so that we don't buff the colour out and just give the nails their strength, because the coloured acrylics alone, they are not strength powders. So back to the other hand now, and I'm going to go in with my file to the pointer finger and just sharpen up that line that I've cut out on the pointer finger, and then I'm going to go in with the sugar honey. I keep forgetting what I'm going to say. And then onto the middle finger, and I'm just going to sharpen up the line of the glitter, and then I will put the pink pastel down both sides of this nail. So back onto the pointer finger, and I'm taking the sugar honey glitter and I'm just pushing it up towards that diagonal line that I cut out. So back to this hand, and now that I've got all the acrylic in place, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cap all the nails in glass slippers. There's so much back and forward to these nails. I don't know about you, but I'm getting lost. Now that I've filed up that glitter, I'm going in with the blue pastel and I'm just covering the rest of the nail, and then I'll go back into the middle finger and I'll press the pink pastel down the side walls. Well, not actually down the side walls because we know that will make the nails lift, but down the sides of the nail. I just went in and added a little bit more of the sugar honey because just right at the free edge there was just a little gap showing through and I kind of wanted more of a coverage. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cap this hand in glass slippers. When it's cured and when it's coming to the filing routine, I'm not going to show all the filing routine. I just show basically the start of it because I don't want the video to be like mega long for you guys. I just wanted to get rid of that really wet table towel because I end up putting my wrist in it. I must sort of hang my wrist over the edge of the table, and it ends up sticking to me sometimes. So I'm doing my normal filing routine. For those of you that have watched the videos, I normally always start at the side walls. I make sure they're nice and straight. Then I go to the lower arch and I make sure that's nice and straight, followed by the free edge. Once they're all straight, I go ahead and I go around the cuticle area and the rest of the nail, just taking out any lumps and bumps. And then I always finish off with my buffer. Oh guys, I am so sorry. I must have been chatting just so much and I forgot to record the butterflies, but I have done these butterflies on a similar set. So they're just water decals that you put into water and then they stick on the nails nice and flush, and then you put your top coat over them. So sorry, I didn't record that. Oh. And now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to place a few cuffs of rhinestones around some of the fingers, and then I'm going to go in with some larger rhinestones on one or two of the fingers. I'm not going to show all this being done because, as you know, it's very time consuming and I never like to leave the video too long for you guys. The inspiration for this set was from Nails by Honey. Her nails are absolutely fantastic, guys. If you don't already follow her on Instagram, you need to, because her work is absolutely amazing. So unfortunately, when I took the picture, my lighting isn't showing the true color of this blue pastel. It's much more prettier in real life. So if you've liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, you know what to do. And I will see you all in the next video. So take care. See you soon. Bye.